Chapter 11, Innocence Knows No Restraint. Daddy, what is a divorce? His son casually asked, not even looking at Fang Hao, completely absorbed in his delicious meal. As a doctor, Fang Hao naturally knew that such food should not be consumed in excess, fried, processed, lacking nutrition, yet it happened to be a favorite among children. Divorce is when your mom wants to find a new daddy. Oh, who is the new daddy? Who knows? Only your mom knows. I'll go ask mom when I get back. Up to you. After the little one finished eating, Fang Hao took him to the park for some exercise and digestion before returning home. Fang Hao didn't expect to win his son over with just one KFC meal, but he didn't anticipate that the little guy would betray him once they got home. Mom, Dad took me to eat KFC just now. The little rascal ran to Su Ro's room and directly reported it. This little scoundrel is a real ingrate. Fang Hao was quite speechless but didn't bother to explain anything. He went to the study to work. Not long after, Su Ro came over, leaned against the door, and asked, "Why did you take Tian to eat that junk food? The little guy got scolded by you." "I just wanted to make him happy. I'm a doctor, I know some things shouldn't be eaten too much. Are you going out?" Fang Hao looked up and saw Su Ro had changed into a new outfit, styled her hair differently, wore earrings and lipstick, with long legs clad in flesh-colored stockings. She looked like a fashionable urban young woman about to go out for fun. "Yeah, my girlfriend invited me out. I'll be back soon." "Drinking? I told you not to go. Will you listen to me? I'm with Chinmei, we're just two girls. You don't have to worry. I'll be back soon. You stay at home, be a good boy." Su Ro smiled sweetly, ignoring Fang Hao's objection, and informed him that he should take care of the children before closing the door. Not long after, Fang Hao heard the sound of the front door closing. Who is she dressing up for? Fang Hao was angry and disappointed. He lost interest in work and went outside, only to find that both kids were still awake. Fang Jie's eyes were red, showing signs of crying. When she saw Fang Hao, she deliberately turned away. Should I leave these two kids at home and secretly follow Su Ro to catch her in the act? But what if something happens to the kids? She calculated that I can't leave home. That's why she felt at ease going out. Forget it. She doesn't care about this family. She doesn't love me, and the person she loves is not me. Let her go and play with whoever she wants. Fang Hao thought this way, but he felt uneasy deep down. No, I have to find that scoundrel as soon as possible and end this torment. After thinking for a while, Fang Hao called Chinmei. After waiting for a long time, Fang Hao finally heard Chinmei answering the phone. "Big handsome guy, checking in so soon. Don't worry, I'll make sure to send Su back to you intact later." "Oh, no, you misunderstood. I just wanted to say that I might not be suitable as the best man. You should find someone else." "No way. Big handsome guy, how could you be like this? It's a confirmed deal. You can't back out. I specifically want someone as handsome as you. Big handsome guy, if you don't want to be the best man, find someone as handsome, young, and stable as you. They have to pass my test, otherwise, don't think about fooling me. I don't have to go to the hospital these 2 days. We can find a time to talk." "Oh, how's your new house? Can I come visit?" "Of course. I'll schedule a time for you later." The sound of flushing echoed from the other end of the phone before it was hung up. Fang Hao's seemingly casual request concealed a subtle calculation. During the handshake between Zhang Quan and his wife, there was a sly rotation of the thumb on the pulse point, leaving Fang Hao uneasy. While Zhang Quan might not be as handsome as Fang Hao, he possessed notable qualities: an accomplished PhD, adorned with a prestigious watch. Su Ro's family valued education, but she herself had a modest academic background. Subconsciously, she tended to favor individuals with higher educational qualifications. The talk might not revolve around money directly, but it would certainly not exclude the topic. Only a hint of materialism could complement the scholarly atmosphere. Su Ro, fond of dressing up, owned an excessive collection of jewelry and clothing. Despite occasional shopping sprees, she maintained her appearance diligently. A woman like her, driving a luxury car, could hardly be considered non-materialistic. Zhang Quan, being a PhD, must have recognized Su Ro's inclination towards affluence. In a deliberate or unintentional move, he exposed his high-end watch while seated. How did Fang Hao know it was a Vacheron Constantine? There was a colleague at the hospital who flaunted a similar brand and used it to attract women. At the time, Fang Hao found both his colleague and the women driven by materialism distasteful. Now, however, this same scenario seemed to be unfolding in his own life. Reality teaches you how to navigate the world. Fang Hao stood by the nursery door, observing his two little ones playing. His son had become adept at gaming on the tablet, while his daughter was engrossed in an animated show. Occasionally, she turned her head, revealing tear-streaked cheeks. His heart softened, and he approached her, asking, "Jia Jia, why are you crying? Daddy doesn't love me anymore. You took Tian Tian to eat KFC, but not me." As she spoke, her eyes welled up with tears. "Oh, next time, I'll take you, not Tian Tian." Fang Hao consoled her, unexpectedly touched by the fairness principle even at such a young age. "KFC doesn't taste good anyway." His son chimed in. "This ungrateful little rascal." Fang Hao chose not to pay him any mind, comforting his daughter instead. Holding her in his arms, he went to the living room and wiped away her tears with a tissue. "Don't cry anymore. You won't look pretty if you keep crying." Since Tian Tian got scolded by mommy, Daddy just wanted to make him happy. "Tomorrow, Daddy won't go to work. Daddy will take you out to play." "Daddy, actually, KFC doesn't taste good. I never eat it every time." Jia Jia is so sensible. "Daddy wants to take you out to play now. We'll leave Tian Tian at home. But Daddy is afraid he'll cry." "What should Jia Jia do?" "Let Tian Tian play with Little Tiger. Little Tiger likes playing with Tian Tian." Fang Hao smiled and asked, "Jia Jia, it's already night, past 8 o'clock. Little Tiger must be sleeping." "No, Little Tiger won't sleep until 11 at night. Mommy will let us play with Little Tiger until 11. "Mommy plays with you guys for so long?" "No, Mommy lets us play with Little Tiger, and then she goes to work overtime. Mommy doesn't need to work overtime at night. Daddy works at night. Mommy says she needs to work overtime." "Oh, right. Mommy also needs to work overtime." As Fang Hao spoke, the smile on his face gradually faded, replaced by a cold expression. Chapter 12, The Strange Uncle Who Came to the House. As a 3-year-old child, she doesn't know how to lie, and everything she says is what she sees. The daughter said that the wife put the child at a neighbor's house and asked the neighbor to help take care of it. The wife then said that she would work overtime and go out. It was possible that she was really working overtime. But if she really worked overtime, she could send the child to the mother-in-law's house for temporary care, or put the child in Fang Hao Hospital. And asked Fang Hao to take care of her temporarily, but his wife never told him, and another possibility was about to emerge. "Wife, send your children away to be with the bastard and adulterer. It is too much for a woman to ignore her husband, children, and family just to be with an adulterer. It is tolerable, but what is intolerable? This marriage must be divorced." Fang Hao really wants to show off his cards now. But he couldn't take revenge on that bastard, he was very unwilling to do so. The past cannot be pursued, it is only used as a measure of punishment. Fang Hao suppressed the anger in his heart and told himself that he must not mess up at this time. He hugged his daughter, called Tian Tian, and went out to find his neighbors. There are 2 households on this floor, and they moved in at the same time as Fang Hao and others. My neighbor, the man is a special teacher in a middle school. He is 50 years old this year. He is a nobleman and does not like to talk or laugh. The woman is a former student of the man, and she is the same age as Su Ro. After getting married, she did not work and became a housewife. When they moved into this new house, the woman and her wife were both pregnant, so they had a lot of topics to talk about, and both of them were beautiful women, so they had a lot of topics to talk about, and they gradually became good friends. The female neighbor is Rueli. "Sisterly, is old Dong here?" Fang Hao said hello and asked the host first. The male host, Dong Yunzhou. "Lao Dong went to study abroad. Is there anything wrong?" Rueli was dressed in homely clothes, with her hair down, looking very gentle and virtuous. "It's like this. The mother of the child has gone out for something. As for me, I want to take my daughter out, but there is a debt collector who doesn't want to go. I think." It was Fang Hao's first time hosting a neighbor, and he was a bit speechless. "Auntie, I'm playing with Xiaohu." Fang Tian was familiar with it, so he just squeezed in. Fang Hao was a little embarrassed. "No problem. Just let Tian and Xiaohu play." "Oops, why is Jia crying? Her eyes are red." Rueli was very attentive and saw Fang Jia's situation. "Auntie, I was blown by the wind, I didn't cry." Fang Jia is very sensible. "Jia, you are so cute. Auntie likes you so much." Please let Auntie hug you. Rueli reached out and took Jie Jie from Fang Hao's hand, and then hugged her for a while. She liked such a sensible daughter very much. Fang Hao went back to get the small bag and the car keys. When he took his daughter, Rueli did not let go and let her kiss her goodbye. As a result, Fang Hao's hand invisibly touched a softness. He ate a few kilograms of tofu from his female neighbor and felt embarrassed. However, he found that the female neighbor did not reciprocate, and he did not take any additional actions, such as pinching and squeezing. It looks like it was touched by accident. Rueli asked Jie Jie to kiss both sides before letting go. Her face became a little hot as she watched Fang Hao and his daughter leave. Oops, I was touched accidentally just now. Why did I react? In the garage, Fang Hao was upset when he found that his wife was not driving. This meant that his wife really planned to drink tonight. Beautiful women are easily remembered by others, but beautiful women who drink are even more likely to be remembered by others. What if you are drunk? I am afraid that many people have already abandoned the law to Java. When he first started working in the hospital, Fang Hao was arrested once by the emergency department. There was a nightclub for emergency treatment late at night. When the medical staff rushed to the scene, they saw an unsightly scene. The woman was lying drunk in the bathroom, her pants were ripped off, the front and back doors were torn and bleeding, and there were more than 20 used condoms scattered on the floor. The woman was finally rescued, but she also suffered from serious gynecological diseases and was unable to give birth for the rest of her life. When Fang Hao thought about it, if this scene happened to Su Ro, he didn't know how to face it. Dad, I'm sitting tight, let's drive. The daughter urged. Fang Hao asked, okay, I'll take you to eat KFC. Dad, I don't eat KFC, it's not delicious. Oh, have you eaten it? Who bought it for you? Mom or grandma? No, it was bought by an uncle. Uncle? What kind of uncle? When did he buy it for you? I don't remember when my uncle came to our house and bought us some. We ate them every day. I didn't like them. Oh, what does uncle do when he comes to my house? Talk to mom. Where are we chatting? In mom's room? Sometimes we chat in my mother's room, sometimes in the living room, and sometimes we go to the balcony. My mother likes to chat with my uncle very much. Fang Hao's mind was buzzing. When he was not at home, that bastard really came. Moreover, Su Ro did not shy away from her children. She flirted with that bastard in the bedroom, living room, balcony, and other places at home, and even, Dad, let's drive. I'm going to eat ice cream. Jie Jie, let's change cars, and Dad will drive a big car to take you to eat delicious food. If Fang Hao still wanted to trick his daughter, he changed his strategy. He drives an old car and hits the road. In the car, he didn't rush to ask. Instead, he took his daughter to a big shopping mall. He bought her whatever she liked, then got in the car and ate slowly. He fed his daughter ice cream and asked again, Jie Jie, that uncle who came to our house, what does he look like? The daughter stared at Fang Hao innocently, not knowing how to answer. Fang Hao really wanted to slap himself. How old is his daughter that she can describe a man in detail? He said, Uncle, does he have a name? How did Mom want you and Tian Tian to be called, Uncle Li, Uncle Wang? Mom didn't say anything. Does Uncle have long hair? Does he have a beard? Dad, your hair is short. What's a beard? It's just around the mouth. Is there any hair? No. Uncle, does he wear glasses? Don't wear it. What did Uncle and Mother talk about? Do not remember. Will Mommy sit on Uncle's lap? Do not remember. Would Uncle kiss my mother like this? Meeting. Fang Hao looked at his innocent daughter and was very lovable. He felt ashamed of his daughter who behaved like this. Unfortunately, this is not his kind. He was also basically certain that his wife would go behind his back and take that bastard home and have a private meeting. You eat first, and Dad goes down to smoke. Fang Hao got out of the car and lit a cigarette. He was extremely depressed now. The family he worked so hard to manage turned out to be like this. The wife he loved with all his heart turned out to be like this. His enviable happiness turned out to be like this. He didn't understand what he had done wrong for fate to play such a big joke on him. He saw a construction van coming in front, and 2 installation workers came down to install maintenance cameras in the parking lot. Camera? Yes, I can secretly install a camera at home and set a trap for that bitch and bastard. Fang Hao had an idea and knew what to do next. Chapter 13, Wife is Angry. Just do it. Fang Hao first browsed the surveillance market online, familiarized himself with various products, compared prices, and finally found what he desired. Compact in size, easy to install and conceal, yet powerful in functionality. After his daughter finished eating and became drowsy, he headed home. Upon entering, he discovered that his wife had returned, with a faint scent of alcohol about her, nothing too overwhelming. Tian had also come back from the neighbor's house and was sleeping soundly. Feeling tired, his daughter couldn't take a bath, so Fang Hao let her rest first. He went to take a shower and, upon coming out, found his wife had changed into a thin, delicate nightgown, leaning against the bed. As soon as she saw him, she looked his way. This was a signal of love. In the past, Fang Hao would have eagerly embraced her, showering her with affection. But now, he had no interest. A woman who was having an affair was filthy. You go to sleep, I'll work on my paper. Fang Hao made up an excuse and left. His wife blinked slightly, wondering if she wasn't sexy or alluring enough tonight. In the past, he would have eagerly rushed over. A paper? Always talking about papers. Let's see if you can concentrate, she thought, smiling. His wife picked up her phone, intending to watch some short videos. Unconsciously, time passed, and Fang Hao hadn't returned. She furrowed her brows, put down her phone, and went to sleep directly. When she woke up, she found no one beside her pillow. Glancing at the clock, it was already 5 a.m. She entered the living room, but Fang Hao wasn't there. In the study, she found him peacefully sleeping on the small bed. Frowning, she walked in, woke him up, and said, Fang Hao, why are you sleeping here? Go back to the bedroom. No, I'll sleep here. No, go back to the room. Her tone was insistent. She grabbed Fang Hao's hand and pulled him back to bed. Fang Hao lay down, turning away. Soon, he noticed his wife coming close from behind. Disgusting. This woman must be doing the same to please that scoundrel. Fang Hao pulled away from her hand, mumbling, Don't bother, I'm tired. Humph. His wife slapped Fang Hao's hand away and turned her back to him. She thought, if you don't take the initiative, we won't make up. You'll be unable to concentrate on your paper, constantly thinking of me, and eventually, you'll put down your work and eagerly come over. She picked up her phone, intending to watch some short videos. Unconsciously, a long time passed, and Fang Hao still hadn't approached. She wrinkled her brow. Could it be that she wasn't sexy or alluring enough tonight? In the past, he would have rushed over eagerly. Fang Hao was pretending to sleep. He felt a strong aversion. This despicable woman thought I was her tool, eager to fulfill her desires. In the morning, Fang Hao found his wife with a stern face, not talking to him. She didn't eat breakfast and prepared to leave for work. Fang Hao simply asked, What's wrong? Are you not feeling well? He didn't play along with her usual temper, where he had to act like a good grandson, pampering her even when she gave him the cold shoulder. My parents in the countryside miss me and the grandchildren. Since I have a few days off from the hospital, I want to go back. Will you come with me? I'm busy with work, I can't leave. You go with them. Su Ro responded with a sentence, put on her shoes, and left directly. As expected, if he didn't comply, she would get angry? Fang Hao sneered a bit but was also somewhat satisfied. If he wasn't at home, Su Ro wouldn't be able to resist bringing that scoundrel over, making his surveillance cameras finally useful. Even if he didn't come, Fang Hao would install the cameras in Su Ro's car. Secondly, there was Li Wei's medical dispute in the inpatient department. If Li Wei didn't step forward to testify for him, he would likely bear the responsibility. Taking a leave of absence at this time could help him avoid trouble. He called his mentor, who readily agreed and granted him a long leave. Turning back, he woke up the two little ones, helped them tidy up, made breakfast, and checked their belongings before taking them to kindergarten. As an afterthought, he went to inform the teacher of his leave. Spending most of the day, he bought the necessary equipment, installed and debugged everything was okay. Later, he went to supermarkets and malls to buy some things for his parents. Despite giving them money for their elderly care, his parents always refused, saying he needed money for various needs in the city. This time, he bought many things, filling the shopping cart and the car's trunk. In the evening, after having dinner with his wife, he mentioned installing a child safety seat for their daughter and went down to the garage. His wife wasn't returning home, and since the car was going to travel 100 or 200 kilometers to the countryside, having no child safety seat in the back seat was unacceptable. His wife, not being suspicious, and due to Tian often going to show off with the neighbors that she was going back to her hometown, attracted the neighbor Li Jia, who brought her child to visit. His wife entertained Li Jia, and the two girls chatted. Taking advantage of the situation, Fang Hao installed a tracking bug in his wife's car. His wife's car was very beautiful, regularly cleaned and maintained. To install the bug, he needed to find a very discreet location. The trap was set. Now, he just had to wait for the prey to take the bait. After finishing his work, Fang Hao smoked, feeling a sense of being a thief. Suddenly, he realized that installing a listening device made him feel stimulated and tense. His wife had been having an affair for so long without leaving any traces. Besides his own foolishness, it showed that she was very clever, with a strong ability to bear psychological pressure. No, I have to continue acting foolish, so foolish that I'd be comfortable even wearing a green hat. I can't show any abnormal behavior, I can't make my wife suspicious. Fang Hao felt that not agreeing to his wife's intimate request last night might make her uncomfortable. Occasionally refusing was acceptable, but repeated refusals would undoubtedly make his wife suspicious. That woman loves her lover and will definitely unlock various positions, flattering and pleasing her lover. She's dirty, rotten to the core. Thinking about her made him sick. How can I still get involved with her? But the night before? How did I not know how to resist? Am I not disgusted? Damn it, is it because of the alcohol? If that woman seeks intimacy again tonight, I'll drink. I'll treat her as someone else's woman, and I'll be doing it with someone else's woman. As Fang Hao thought about this, amidst the pain, he strangely felt a sense of excitement. Hospital work was unsatisfactory, and there was a possibility of getting involved in the quagmire of doctor-patient relationships. His wife's affair added immense pressure to Fang Hao. He really wanted to drown his sorrows in alcohol. Suddenly, his phone rang loudly in the car, displaying Chen Mei's call. Why would this woman, who doesn't trust her man, call me? Oh, right, I can get Zheng Quan's DNA and then do a paternity test with Jia Jia. If Zheng Quan is Jia Jia's father, everything will be clear. With these thoughts, he pressed the answer button. Chapter 14, The Stimulus of Betrayal. Chen Mei's call was straightforward, inviting him for a drink and discussing the matter of being a groomsman. Fang Hao agreed initially, then called his wife to report the situation and asked whether he should go alone or if they should go together. His wife said he could go, she was tired after a busy day and didn't want to move. Busy all day? Is it work-related busyness or spending the day with a lover, getting busy with a lover? You wench, can't you be clearer? Feeling an unexplained anger, Fang Hao knew that going to meet Chen Mei without drinking might not be conducive to livening up the atmosphere, bringing him closer to her and executing his other plan. Taking a taxi, he arrived at the nightclub. To his surprise, it was the same place where he had rushed to save the toilet girl before, on the same floor. Years had passed, yet the nightclub's layout hadn't changed. After looking around, Fang Hao went to Chen Mei's private room. Apart from Chen Mei and Zheng Quan, there were several beautiful women and a few ordinary young men. Chen Mei introduced everyone, these were all bridesmaids and groomsmen, and everyone came out to get acquainted. Fang Hao noticed that the bridesmaids and groomsmen had a harmonious atmosphere among them, probably knowing each other from before. He also observed that the few groomsmen looked at him with unfriendly eyes, filled with jealousy. Naturally, this was expected, as these men, like Zheng Quan, were not wearing glasses and were not frail or had pockmarks on their faces. They looked like people who lived in an ivory tower. The bridesmaids were not much better, except for 3 who drove, the rest all lay down. Chen Mei pointed to the bridesmaids, saying, "You've seen enough. Handsome guy here is married with a child, so don't get any funny ideas." The bridesmaids chuckled but continued to shamelessly stare at Fang Hao. Fang Hao didn't feel shy and shameless either. After all, he was planning to divorce Su Rou, and any of these women could potentially be his next wife. It must be said, although the women's body parts were similar, when you looked closely, each woman had her own characteristics. These bridesmaids were not as good-looking as Su Rou, either their features were slightly inferior, or their skin wasn't as smooth, or they had smaller chests, thicker waists, or thicker legs. However, that didn't mean they were worse than Su Rou. Perhaps these girls were cleaner than Su Rou. The groomsmen had issues with Fang Hao. They repeatedly toasted him, intending to get him drunk first. However, they overestimated themselves. In the end, it was they, including Zheng Quan, who ended up on the floor. The bridesmaids didn't fare much better. Besides the 3 who drove, the rest were all lying down. Chen Mei helpte drink. She said to Fang Hao, I didn't expect you to handle your liquor so well. We should go out for drinks more often. Susu also has a good alcohol tolerance, you two are really a match. Fang Hao didn't want to bring up his wife's topic. He glanced at Zhang Quan beside him and said, this lineup, you can't have it on your wedding day. Otherwise, how will you get things done? Giggle, can't we do things if we're drunk? When's your wedding day? You shouldn't either. Otherwise, how will you get things done? Oh, your alcohol tolerance is much worse than mine. Let me pour you some mineral water, don't forget this favor. Did I get drunk on my wedding day? How come I don't know? You didn't get drunk at the hotel, but in your wedding room, you had a glass, giggle. Thinking about it now, it's quite amusing. Fang Hao felt a chill all over, returning home to drink? Moreover, getting drunk after a glass? Was there something wrong with the alcohol? Returning from the hotel to home took some time, the alcohol consumed at the hotel should have been mostly metabolized. How could he get drunk after having one more glass at home? He suddenly thought that Su Ro might have tampered with the alcohol to spend the bridal night with that bastard. Otherwise, how could he have lost consciousness? Shameful. TSK, Fang Hao, are you so petty? You're turning pale just hearing about a little unpleasant history. No big deal. Oh, did you and Zhang Quan know each other for a long time? Did he come to my wedding? We just knew each other for about half a year. At that time, I didn't know who he was. Giggle. Fang Hao remained silent but used the opportunity to help Chen Mei get Zhang Quan into the car. He took 2 strands of Zhang Quan's hair, which would be used for DNA testing. Chen Mei pulled Fang Hao into the car, insisting that he accompany her to take Zhang Quan to their wedding room. In reality, they were already living together. You two haven't shared a bed yet, have you? Fang Hao, a seasoned 4-year veteran of marriage, immediately noticed something unusual in Zhang Quan's room. There were no signs of women's belongings. Don't tell me you think I'm just any woman. You and Susu, didn't you consummate your marriage on your wedding night? Honestly. Chen Mei rolled her eyes at Fang Hao, her face slightly flushed. Glancing at the intoxicated Zhang Quan, then back at Fang Hao, she felt a bit unwilling. Why did the good man have to be Su Ro's? The thought of the bridal night with his wife suddenly struck Fang Hao as an enormous and humiliating ordeal, making him nauseous. He said, it's getting late, I should head back. Chen Mei bit her lip, quickly caught up at the entrance, and hugged Fang Hao tightly. Finally, summoning her courage, she wrapped her arms around Fang Hao's neck and kissed him. This took Fang Hao by surprise, his mind buzzed, and his entire body seemed to reverse with excitement. He responded to Chen Mei's kiss, and they both indulged in the intense moment by the entrance. However, when Chen Mei's hand moved further, Fang Hao felt like he was going to explode. Suddenly, he sobered up and quickly pushed Chen Mei away, saying, this isn't right, I'm sorry. I've had too much to drink. Goodbye. He hurriedly left, hearing Chen Mei laughing behind him, and he ran even faster. Betraying a partner, it turns out, is so thrilling. But behind this thrill, there was endless guilt. Fang Hao wondered if others felt the same, but at this moment, he felt a bit ashamed to face anyone. He thought of his wife, his in-laws, his parents, and his children. After the betrayal was exposed, all these loved ones would look at him with the same strange gaze, eyes sharp as knives, tearing him apart, leaving him to die a slow death. Wife, when you betrayed me, did you feel the same? Or did you see it as a kind of excitement, then fully enjoy it? Fang Hao felt that his wife was probably enjoying it. At least for the past 4 years, he hadn't seen his wife feeling troubled. Her expression was always so calm and serene. When she went out with her friends, she was as cheerful as a bird, returning from dates happily. Even during business trips, she never complained. Now it seemed like she and her lover were experiencing true love. Going to meet her lover was a joyful occasion. She dressed up carefully, made her lover laugh, and returned with contentment. After such happy reunions, she kept herself pure, saving her energy for the next joyful encounter. Husband? What the hell is that? A husband is a babysitter, a fool used as a shield. Lost in these thoughts, Su Ro's call came in. Chapter 15, Wife's Concern. Su Ro's call came in, and she directly said, where are you? Why haven't you come back yet? Fang Hao felt a bit moved. His wife was showing concern for him, a rare occurrence. In the 4 years they had spent together, there were times when he hung out late with colleagues from the hospital, but his wife never called to check on him. After the initial sense of warmth, regret followed. Suro, you're too much. Even if you treat me well now, it's too late. This marriage needs to end. Fang Hao replied, just dropped Xingquan off. I'm downstairs, getting ready to take a cab back. That's good. Mei Mei said you had a bit too much to drink, and she wanted to keep you overnight. Since you're coming back, I won't go pick you up. Suro said this and hung up. Fang Hao felt a bit dazed. The warmth from before was gone. If their roles were reversed, he would go pick her up. Coming to pick someone up showed sincerity, care, obligation, responsibility, and it was a right. Not coming meant nothing. The phone rang again, it was Chen Mei. She laughed, big handsome guy, the call that just got cut off was from your wife, right? Yes. Fang Hao didn't know how to face Chen Mei, with the taste of her soft lips still lingering. Susu is too petty. When you go back, teach her a lesson. If you want more excitement, just imagine she's me. Hee hee. Chen Mei hung up, leaving Fang Hao with a sense of guilt that he couldn't escape. Excitement, regret, and a sense of relief. Chen Mei was about to get married, her fiancé was in the room. Yet, she walked this tightrope with me, a truly nerve-wracking experience. 4 years ago, on my wedding day, that jerk came to my wedding room to shame me, all for the thrill. Chen Mei was a beauty with a full and rounded figure. In a certain sense, she might have more feminine charm than Suro. If I didn't run away just now, went straight for it, it would have been so satisfying. Unfortunately, it was just a tease, not the real deal. There was some regret. Chen Mei didn't drink much, her mind was clear. The way she seduced me just now, did she like me? If I divorced Suro, I could consider her. No. I'm still married, why am I thinking about finding a backup? Isn't this a shameful behavior? Thankfully, I held back and didn't go further with Chen Mei. I didn't betray my current family and marriage. Suro, you never held back, right? You shameless woman. Returning home, it was already late at night, and the child was already asleep. Suro was in the living room, arms crossed, staring at Fang Hao. You've been drinking. Why aren't you sleeping at Chen Mei's place? Fang Hao paused for a moment. He could see a displeased expression on his wife's cold face. Suddenly, he thought that even if his wife didn't love him, he was still her husband, her possession. She didn't want others to touch what belonged to her. As long as she didn't want it, no one else could have it. He felt a bit smug, his wife cared a bit about him. But soon after, he felt a sense of disdain. If his wife truly cared, why did she put a cuckold's hat on him? But his wife, without self-respect, went out with that jerk. Did she ever think that she was also his possession? He wouldn't want anything his wife didn't want, she shouldn't let others touch what belonged to her. He walked over and said, Chen Mei is unreliable. She said she wanted to make her husband wear a hat, preferably in her wedding room, in front of her husband. Can such a joke be made? I scolded her for being crazy. Suro's eyes narrowed slightly, and her eyebrows furrowed. She said, you've had too much to drink. Chen Mei isn't that kind of person. What kind of person she is has nothing to do with me. I won't be the groomsman. I am a man with a wife. How could I do something that disrespects my wife? She underestimated me. Fang Hao approached, grabbing Suro's arm, staring into her eyes, and asked, you and Chen Mei are so close. Have you done something disrespectful to me? Suro's eyes squinted, her eyebrows curved like a crescent moon. She said, how could that be possible? I'm your wife. How could I do something disrespectful to you? Impossible. Do you really think I'm still a fool who knows nothing? If you haven't betrayed me, why are you panicking? This is the guilty behavior of someone who has done something wrong. She immediately said, Fang Hao, you've had too much to drink. Don't overthink. Go take a shower and go to bed early. I'm not drunk. I'm very clear-headed right now. Chen Mei thought I was a scumbag, thinking she could seduce me just because she's a bit attractive. Doesn't she know that my wife is the most beautiful? I have a beautiful wife at home, why would I like her? Isn't that humiliating myself? Fang Hao turned his wife around and embraced her from behind, teasing her. Suro initially wanted to struggle, but Fang Hao was strong, and she couldn't resist. Instead, she felt something firm behind her, causing her thoughts to drift. She stopped resisting and leaned back, rubbing her neck and ears against the side of Fang Hao's face. Darling, am I handsome? Very handsome. You're the most handsome man I've ever seen, and you're my husband. But I don't have money, no background, just an average job. Aside from being handsome and being your man, what else do I have? Fang Hao was a bit vengeful. Drunk and reminded of his beautiful wife being involved with another man, he found himself strangely excited. A cuckold fetish? No. Fang Hao, being a doctor, not only mastered physical, biological, and medical knowledge but also possessed some knowledge in mental health. He despised his wife's betrayal, feeling nauseated at the thought. He wished he could kill the adulterer and the unfaithful woman. Now, the excitement came not just from being a young man, but under the influence of alcohol. The presence of his beautiful wife intensified his youthful vitality. Moreover, he wanted revenge, to whip his wife and let her know how strong he could be, satisfying her in this aspect, making her affair a colossal mistake. In the past 4 years, despite his wife being a beauty, Fang Hao spent many nights on night shifts, leading to infrequent intimate moments. Once or twice a week or 4 to 5 times a month at most. He felt like he neglected his wife, which might have driven her to cheat. But was that his fault? Night shifts weren't an excuse, as he was perfectly capable of satisfying her after returning from work. It was his wife who claimed he needed to take care of his health and refused him. Regardless, it didn't matter anymore as they were on the brink of divorce. This wave of excitement was deadly for both of them. After a brief pause, Fang Hao whispered in Suro's ear, "Darling, you are my woman. If I find out you've cheated, I will divorce you, and I'll kill that scumbag who seduced you. My woman should not be touched by others unless I don't want you." Suro tensed up. She instinctively lowered her head and said, "Husband, I am yours, and I won't let other women touch you." "Husband, cherish me. Won't give me a direct answer? Well, when you realize my strength, I'll lead you on again." Fang Hao determined to fulfill his duties as a husband.